Hello, citizens of Gamecockville. We have been gone, but we are back. During the war, the government blocked the relay of information to the public, but we will now fill you in on what has gone down in the last 3 years. During year 70, our forces had pushed Taj Boyd's forces out of the Brown Mountain Range and back into Tigertown territory. Not long after, however, Taj pushed back into Gamecockville borders through the Brown Mountain Range and got farther than he had before, this time using chemical weapons to kill and disorient our troops. Boyd's forces pushed our forces nearly to downtown Gamecockville, where citizens became in danger. The goal of Tigertown was to make it onto the Gamecockville streets and take restaurants, shops, homes, everything, and to completely take the town and make it their own, which would bring the unconditional surrender of Mayor Marcus Lattimore. It was then, on Mount John Henry, where Gamecockville forces began to push back Boyd's Tigertown forces. In year 71, the Gamecockville Air Force began bombing raids over Tigertown, crippling its home front. Boyd's forces were pushed back to the Gamecockville Dog Nation, which was controlled by Tigertown, border. Taj Boyd quickly changed his forces' strategy to instead to try to push through the mountains, instead to travel up the glowing river. His forces took boats up the river and landed in the incomplete, abandoned for the day, Avion district of Gamecockville. His forces just ran through the district, ignoring the skyscrapers in construction, and they had to cross the Avion Bridge into downtown Gamecockville. Only about 20 of the troops were able to cross the bridge. The rest were shot by snipers in Gamecockville while they attempted to cross. A battle ensued in downtown Gamecockville. Troops ducked in and out of the church and hospital, prison, and GAC. After about 5 minutes, all Tigertown forces in the area were eliminated. Taj Boyd radioed in defeat an hour later via radio. The war was over, and Tigertown had surrendered. Gamecockville forces marched into Tigertown and burnt flags, and they razed the Gamecockville where the Tigertown flag once stood. A day later, troops marched into Dog Nation and took all Tigertown fighters prisoner to be executed on a later date. They rescued Dog Nation's prisoners of war and transported them to Gamecockville to escape the destroyed marshland of Dog Nation. But during the war, something else big had happened. Mayor Marcus Lattimore had started a space program known as the NSP, National Space Program, and built a mission control center on on Lattimore Island. A rocket, and most importantly, the LSS, Lattimore Space Station, plans had been set to land on the moon, but sadly, in the opening hours of year 72, Mayor Marcus Lattimore, age 90, passed away peacefully in his sleep. Respects were paid to his statue. 2 days ago, Sandstorm SOU was elected mayor of Gamecockville. He promises to wrap up the war, unify the world, continue with what Lattimore was on a path to do with turning the city of Gamecockville into its own country. He has decided to name it Lattimore in his honor. He promises to expand the country and allow former slaves to create countries of their own if they sign a document to never attack another country. He also promises to land a man on the moon and create a lunar base by year 73. This is all for now. Stay tuned.